Hi guys, my name is Victoria and I'm glad to see you in Ventus tutorials. Today let's see how to manage our newly created virtual machine, how to find all necessary information about it, how to shut down, start or reboot it, and much more interesting. So be patient and let's start and enjoy. In Ventus Portal, the management processes for all virtual machines are identical. The only difference is in connecting to them. For connecting to Linux virtual machine, we use SSH protocol, and for connecting to Windows virtual machine, we use Remote Desktop protocol. All other actions with virtual machines are exactly the same, despite the various images used to create them. So let's look at all details of VM's management processes in order. Firstly, let's figure out how to find additional information about our virtual machine. For this, you need to click on Instance Box from Instance page, and then the following page will open, where you can find all details about your VM. Now let's see what information we can find here. So the first thing that we can see is OS icon, which shows the icon of our instance operating system. In our case, we can see the icon of Ubuntu, because when I created this virtual machine, I chose the image of Ubuntu. Next field is the name of our instance. And also here below we can see our virtual machine status. Depending on the instance state, it can be running, stopped, mounting, rescued, and so on. Now the status of our virtual machine is running. Moreover, here we can access the following subpages: info, system log, metrics, snapshots, volumes, history log, and security groups. And the first tab here is Info, where you can find your instance specifications, namely details about your instance, for example, flavor, RAM, CPUs, and disk space. Network details contain information about network, namely private and public IPs, and other details like instance unique number, instance data creation, region, and so on. Next tab is called System Log, and the name here speaks for itself. You can view directly the system log of your instance by accessing this tab from Instance Details. To show more lines, you have a select field for this here. If you go to Metrics tab from your VM details, you can view instance metrics like network traffic or CPU usage. Moreover, you can filter them by last hour, 24 hours, 7 days, or 30 days. Next tab here is Snapshots. Snapshots are actually images of our current instance. You can use them to backup your instance and restore it later. Also, you can duplicate an instance by making a snapshot of a target instance and install that snapshot as another instance. You can find information about how to create and use snapshots in the corresponding code task or in video tutorial about snapshots. The following tab here is Volumes. A volume is a detachable block storage device, similar to USB hard drive. You can attach volume to only one instance. So here you can attach or detach a volume or your current instance. How to create and use volumes you can also find in related core task or in the video tutorial about volumes. Next tab is History Log. Here you will find all actions made on your instance like rescued, unrescued, rebooted, changed password, and so on. And the last tab here is Security Groups. Security Groups and Security Group Rules allows users the ability to specify the type of traffic and direction that is allowed to pass through the port. This is rather interesting opportunity, and it would be useful to look into this topic in more detail. To do this, study the relevant core task or watch a video tutorial about security groups. The next step here is icons of quick actions, and first of them used for shutdown or start our instance. For example, now as we can see, the status of our virtual machine is running, but if I click this, the first icon for shutdown, and confirm my actions on the next page, the status of my VM will change to stopped. To turn on my instance again, I need just to click this icon for start, and then the status of my virtual machine will become running again. The following icon of quick action is used to reboot the instance. This step is quite simple, so you won't linger on this. But the next icon is rather interesting. It allows you to launch Web Console. After clicking this icon, the new window with the console will appear, and you can log in into your virtual machine with your user details and start working. But this action is only possible if you specify the root password when creating your virtual machine. In other cases, you can connect to a virtual machine using SSH protocol if this machine is Linux, or Remote Desktop protocol if it is Windows. Information about it you can find in video tutorial named Establishing Connection with a Virtual Machine. Now let's take a closer look to my virtual machine test. This is Linux virtual machine with Ubuntu image, and when it was created, I provided both the SSH key and the root password. So if I want to log in into my instance and start the web console, I just click the corresponding icon for quick action, enter my login, it is root, and provide my root password that was set during the creation of my virtual machine. And here it is, my connection is established. Now let's try to connect to my Windows virtual machine WinTest. I click the corresponding icon for quick action launch web console, and next I need to set up the password for my default user administrator. So I come up with this password. It should contain uppercase and lowercase letters and at least one digit or symbol, and press enter. Now I can log in into my Windows instance using this web console. For this I just need to click sign in, and here it is, my connection with Windows virtual machine is established too. Oh, it seems that we lingered a bit on this topic about connection, but now I hope that you understand how to connect to different virtual machines in Ventus Cloud Portal. And the last icon for quick action here is called More, which gives us access to a number of other actions with our virtual machines, for example, rescue, rebuild, rename, resize, change password, delete, and so on. In this video tutorial, we won't analyze in detail all of these actions, only in general terms, but more detailed information about each action for your convenience will be presented in separate core tasks and video tutorials. Let's start from the first action here, rescue, or we can call it like recover your data. As you know, an instance file system could become corrupted. Rescue mode provides a mechanism for access even when the VM's image renders the instance inaccessible. For example, a user deleted a crucial file, needed to launch a VM, but it is found out only after the reboot. Through rescue mode, you can restore the original file and start your VM. The next action here is rebuild, or we can call it like reinstall instance. Through this feature, you can basically reinstall your virtual machine using the same or another operating system, or even you can install a snapshot from a previous backup. But please be careful here, all your data will be erased on reinstall. Perform a backup to avoid data loss. The next possible action here is rename. If you need to change the name of your VM, you can click on this action, type a new name in the next open window, and click Rename Instance. Wait a few minutes, and now your instance has a new name. Among the possible actions with our virtual machines is boot from ISO, so you need to know that Ventus Cloud Portal supports booting instances using ISO images. As you can see, I don't have any images right now, but if you need, you can firstly upload the necessary image, and when it is successfully uploaded, you can use this new image to boot instances. And the instances launched using this image will contain the system that you have just installed using the ISO image. The next action here is resize, so you can resize our virtual machine if you decide that it should be larger or smaller. Just click the action to resize, select the new size that you need for your instance, click Resize Instance, confirm your actions in the next open window, wait a few minutes, and on the next step you need to verify resize. On this step you can revert resize or confirm it. Since I am sure I want to change the size of my VM from VC2 to VC4, so I click confirm resize. And now the status of my virtual machine is running and the size is new VC4. Also here you can change the password for your virtual machine if you need. Just click this action, come up with a new password and press change password. The next two available actions is associate and dissociate IP. It means that we can deploy floating IP addresses and assign them to instances. So first we will need to add floating IP. Information about this and how to use floating IPs in Ventus Cloud Portal you can find in related core task. So that's all for today. I hope this video tutorial didn't bore you too much. Today we came across many interesting topics. Some of them have been carefully studied, but to understand the others you need to watch the relevant material.